Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm Vipul, Community Development Coordinator, IIBP, your host, and we'll be facilitating today's interactive session on a very delicious recipe. Yes, a delicious recipe for your inevitable success. I thank all of you for joining, taking your time out, and attending today's interactive session. IIBP is presenting a very interactive session on the title, The Cookbook, a recipe of growth mindset in 2021 by Ms. Nidhi Sharma. Before we proceed, let's have a quick look at what IIBP is doing and what IIBP is offering. Okay, so here is a brief about IIBP, where IIBP is offering certifications, accreditations, and memberships. If you are a student, you can check out the student membership where you will get all the latest insights about business psychology. Basically, Indian Institute of Business Psychology is a platform for all things business psychology in India. So you'll be getting latest information about each and everything, right from what are the latest, what are the jobs available in the market regarding business psychology, to what are the research that is being really trending. IIBP also offers certifications in psychometric testing. Okay, so IB offers certification in psychometric testing level 1 and level 2. If you're interested in that, definitely check out the crash course on YouTube at the psychometric world. You will definitely love it. Here are a few of our ongoing initiatives that if any of you are interested in, then you can just have a look out. So IIBP has recently launched a mental health initiative where there are more than 28 trained, experienced mental health professionals for you, right? So you can just go to the IIBP website and book a counseling session right now if you really need that. We have also recently launched a group initiative. For that, you can check out IIBP's LinkedIn handle. We also have been about to launch a student guide on business psychology for all students across India. Business psychology as a subject is not being as dominated in India as clinical psychology is. And that's the reason IIBP has taken a large survey and collected the latest information about what business psychology is, what is the career in business psychology, how you can develop your career in business psychology, and all the relevant information about making a career in business psychology for all the students out there who actually are thinking or maybe want to know about how I can pursue a career in business psychology, how I can become a business psychologist. To know all that, you just have to, reach out to us or register, share your email address, and we'll be soon launching the guide of business psychology for all the students across India. Now, we are about to launch another very important thing, which is the ebooks on various different topics. As mentioned, IIBP has already have 28 trained mental health professionals from various backgrounds. They'll be sharing their experience with interactive and short ebooks soonly. So in order to, if you are interested in any of the initiative, you just have to stay tuned with IIBP, and I hope you will be learning a lot. Okay. Now coming back to today's session, right? I don't know how to begin with today's session because the title itself is so interesting. So the title itself is so interesting that I am really looking forward to this session. To begin with, I would like to quote Carol Dweck, the author of the book Mindset, who has beautifully explained the concept of growth mindset versus fixed mindset, where she quotes that, I don't mind losing as long as I see improvement, or I feel I have done as well as I possibly could. Well, we all are looking forward to, continue our learning journey, but we all fail in that. Or somehow there are a lot of hindrances that do come into the picture. And we often had heard that, never stop learning. But how do I do that? How can I maintain a continuous learning? Well, today, if any of those questions in your head, then we are about to get answers of the same, right? As today's session will be hosted by Ms. Nidhi ma'am, who believes that we are not our behaviors. Hence, this behavior can be modified and changed to achieve a fulfilling life. Nidhi ma'am, Nidhi ma'am's patent question is, are you ready to take your life from good to great? Well, everyone wants to, but not everyone knows the recipe of it, right? So today, if you are really interested to grow yourself in your personal and professional journey, then stay tuned with us right from the beginning to the end, and you will be you'll be learning a lot about recipes and ingredients required to develop growth mindset and then to apply it. Nidhi ma'am has experience of over 20 years in coaching, counseling, and facilitating a lot of things. Also, she's specialized in performance enhancement, life coaching, career coaching, and various training and facilitation programs. Ma'am's mission is to take life from good to great. And lastly, growth fulfill, growthful living is what she strives for. We are honored to have you here, ma'am. We are looking forward to learn a delicious and a utilitarian recipe of growth mindset from you.
Thank you, Vipul. So, should we get going?
Yeah, we are good to go. Shalini, if you can kindly present the PPT.
No, I will do that. What I wanted to know was, is there scope of creating breakout rooms?
Can you repeat that question, ma'am?
I said, is there a scope of creating breakout rooms? I had checked with Shalini earlier, and is it possible to do that? We can do that. Yeah. Okay, so I will make use of breakout room, and if one of you can be a co-fac and just kind of check the timings, it will be great. So thank you so much for the platform, and Vipul, that was a little long list of burden you have kind of put on my shoulder, but let's see what I can do. So I need to share my screen, which I'm doing. Can you all see it?
Yeah.
All right, wonderful. So how many of you actually know this man? Even the younger lots, you can't be that behind that you don't know who this man is.
Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali.
Oh, how many of you go for Ali? Muhammad Ali. Raise your hand. It's as simple as that. There is an icon that you can. What is unique about Ali? Thank you so much. What is unique about Ali?
His determination, commitment.
Okay.
I think he's very gritty.
He's very gritty. Okay, wonderful. So commitment, determination, grittiness. What else? What made him who he was?
Has a strong punch.
Has a strong punch. Actually, he didn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he didn't.
I thought he knocked someone down.
Ah, that's the whole thing.
He never gave up.
The desire to outgrow.
He never gave up. Okay, yeah, he never gave up. Yes, Vipul, what were you saying?
Desire to outgrow, desire to outlearn, desire to outwork everyone else in the world.
Okay, perhaps we wouldn't know that because I have not really read his biography. But the interesting fact about him is that once he won the Olympic gold in 1960, and thereabout after that, he won various gold in world championships. And then he went out to say, I am the greatest. And this was all before even I was born. So I remember growing up and listening to Ali, and I used to be so fascinated with this guy who kept saying, I'm the greatest. And as a little girl, I just couldn't understand it. You know, what does he really mean? But it fascinated me. So when I started working on growth mindset, for some reason, I started looking up people who had contributed to it. And somewhere I came across this very interesting story about Ali, that he was actually, he had an IQ of only 78, which is a fairly low IQ, if you see, moderate, right? That further fascinated me, that people tend to believe that to be successful, you really need to have a very intellectual mind. So when I further thought about him, I started to realize that, or read about him, he was not really a natural boxer. Okay, so he couldn't really land a punch, as you say it. But as Vipul said, he had the grit. So there was this boxing career, in which one of his biggest achievements and victory is when he actually beat a world champion, very highly ranked, called Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston. And Sonny was supposed to be a naturally gifted boxer. But the amount of money that must have been riding on Sunny in that fight, you can't even fathom. And yet, Sunny was supposed to have uh, 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 just the right knockout punch, just the right physique, which just the right, talent and all of that. And Ali, as compared to him, did not even come close. He was not natural. So the question is, what made Ali Ali? What do you think? Now tell me, what made him Ali? What was it? And honestly, there is only one answer to it. Come on, guys, you all are in psychology. I'm assuming you all are interested. Think. What made the difference between him and Sunny and everybody else?
Well, one thing is for sure that he kept on growing.
Okay.
He kept on learning. He kept working on what he knows, and he made that thing into perfection.
I don't know about perfection. I see chats. Okay. Those of you who don't want to speak, chat is good. Yes, Bharat, he believed in himself. Anita says patience, persistence, perseverance. Absolutely. And all of that comes from the fact that he said that I will not quit. I can do it. He knew he was not as talented. He knew he was not the sharpest brain. But then he also knew that working hard is all that it is going to take. This is a very famous saying. I absolutely loved it. I used to love it till I figured, oh my God, it's Ali who said it. If my mind can conceive it and my heart can believe it, then I can achieve it. And that, my friend, is the recipe to growth mindset in a single line. If you can conceive it, if you can believe it, there is nothing in this world that can stop you from achieving it. So next time when you waver, think of Muhammad Ali. But I have some more interesting things to show you closer to home, okay? How many of you recognize who this is?
We got Vinod Kamble and Sachin Tendulkar.
Okay, so what are they doing here?
I think it's the Mumbai Maidan. We were playing cricket under 16, I would say, under 14.
Okay. So what is unique about them? How many of you are cricket fans? I need to know the data. Tell me.
They had created a world record at that tender age.
Okay. What else? What
500 plus runs in this partnership.
Okay. I really don't know that. But if you say so, I'll believe it.
You can check it.
Sorry?
You can check it, ma'am.
No. I'm sure it is right. I'm not at all doubting it even for a minute. But I'm really not a cricket fan and I'm really not interested in cricket. And still, these two gentlemen often make on my screen. How many of you know that Kamble is a better cricket player than Sachin Tendulkar is?
Yes, he was.
He is. The talent talent still exists. Right?
Yeah.
So now tell me what happened. Sachin has a growth mindset. Kamble didn't have a growth mindset. And that's the basic difference why Sachin went on to become the player that he is, the icon that he became, the ideal that he became, and etc., etc., etc. And today, the younger generation perhaps doesn't even know who Vinod Kamble is. Irrespective to the fact that they're great friends even today. But so the point that I'm making is that there are two types of mindsets that will take us towards success. Okay, I see a chat. Is there a chat? No. Okay. And one is a fixed mindset and one is a growth mindset. And often we are a mix of both. However, as long as we tilt towards the growth mindset, we are good. It's not possible for any of us to, have only one kind of mindset. There are things that scare us, there are things that stop us, there are things that come and blindside us, and we waver, right? It's how quickly we get up and get going defines us from maybe who's not a winner into a winner. So before I go ahead, I want to ask you a question. How many of you know what is a TMT test? A treadmill test? No? Okay. So to test the robustness or the health of the heart, doctors often give patients who have heart ailments what is called a treadmill test. So what you're made to do is your pulse is taken, and then you're made to walk on the treadmill. And then again, the pulse is taken, and then again, they keep increasing the speed of the treadmill for some 5 or 10 minutes or something like that. And then they stop and they again check your pulse. And then they see the time gap. So suppose your heart rate is escalated at 165 or 170. Now they want to see how fast you come back to your normal original pulse rate. Healthy hearts come back to the normal pulse rate much quickly than the unhealthy ones. Same is true for growth mindset. Minds that are healthy, they will come back and start running again much faster when they face challenge, much faster than the minds that are not that healthy. How fast do we recover? Any questions here? Okay. All right, I see a chat, and question is it necessary to rebound quickly or get back better than before with more strength, confidence, and wisdom? Can you answer at the end? Anita, no, there is no beauty of the mind is that each one of us can take our own time. We can't do that with the heart, unfortunately. The heart needs to come back. But with the mind, the beauty is that you and I can decide the time frame that we want to take. And we don't have to come back better than before, or more confident or more wise, etc., etc. But as long as the learning that you have taken helps you to go forward, that's all that matters. At least I think so. I hope I have answered that question. I don't have to wait till the end. So going forward, I will want you all to do this. Do you guys have both your palms? Do you have a pen and a paper around you? You all have done it as a child. You've traced your palms. Come on. Can you do that? Shalini, can you please give people 1 minute timer to do this activity, if you don't mind?
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Cool. So all I want you all to do is draw your palms. You have done that as children. एक पेपर पे एक बना लो, एक पेपर पे एक हाथ बना लो. और अगर लेफ्ट से नहीं होता है वैसे हो जाएगा, नहीं तो अपने किसी मम्मी पापा बच्चों को, किसी को कोई तो होगा घर पे, उनसे बोलो वो बना देंगे, उनको बहुत मजा आएगा. कि आप ये क्या कर रहे हो, अपना हाथ छाप रहे हो. हाँ, and they'll give you advice also कि कैसे छापो. One minute.
I did it.
Okay. There's still some 30 seconds left, I think.
Done, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, 28 seconds. Oh.
All right. How many people are there on the call? There are 11 people. So there are not enough, many of us. I mean, 11 is a very good number. So guys, come on. All right. I was looking at my mobile clock. So yeah, it's 1 minute. Now what I want you to do, Shalini, will you please give me a 3-minute timer? Okay.
Yeah.
After I say start.
Yeah.
On your right hand, 5 digits, right? 5 fingers हैं, 5 digits हैं. एक फिंगर पे लिखिए कि आपके हिसाब से ग्रोथ माइंडसेट क्या होता है, और लेफ्ट हैंड के फिंगर के एक एक डिजिट पे लिखिए कि फिक्स्ड माइंडसेट क्या होता है। सिंपल सी एक्टिविटी है। राइट हैंड साइड के 5 डिजिट्स पे आप लिखिए कि आपके हिसाब से ग्रोथ माइंडसेट क्या होता है, और लेफ्ट हैंड साइड के लिखिए कि फिक्स्ड माइंडसेट आपके हिसाब से क्या होता है। टाइमर शालिनी? Yeah, all right.
Start.
All right. Thank you, Bharat. Thank you. Anita, thank you so much.
Time up.
Wonderful. So who's going to go first? Let's hear. There is Kaushal, there is Lohit, there is Sonali, Afroz, Sandhya Rani, Bharat, Anita, Rakhi, that's Jyoti, Shalini, Vipul, and Devika. Someone's got to go. Okay. Bharat has said that growth mindset is open to new ideas, practice to upskill, competition with. Okay. All right. Who else? Yes, Vipul? I saw you raise your hand.
Yeah, I would like to go if like no one is ready to go then. So
Okay.
I just have to share what I've written in the. On the
Yeah,
document,
of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yes.
Okay. The first mistake I did, the first thing I did is like the left hand I did on the right page, and the right hand I did on the left page. I don't
That's
know why I
okay.
did that.
That's all right.
But however, on the growth mindset thing, I have written few points. The first thing is that I've written statements. I want to learn and continuously grow. Growth mindset is the ability to seek more. Is your desire to be better than yesterday. That means your willingness. You're open to learning, and I always believe that I can thrive forward. So these are the 5 statements I've written in the growth mindset. In the fixed mindset, I have written 3 common statements. I'm fine. I'm okay. This is me. Complacent, comfortable.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Rakhi says following traditions is fixed mindset. Kaushal said growth mindset is solution-oriented approach. Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else?
Afroz is raising her hand. Afroz Begum. Yeah, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, Afroz, go ahead, please. Sorry, so sorry. You need to unmute yourself. Yes, Afroz.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, for growth mindset, I have written adaptation and flexibility, open to new experiences, high self-esteem, eager learner, and there is always a possibility of and hope for growth mindset. And for a fixed mindset, I have written have rigid personality, not open to new things, fixed core beliefs, ruminating mostly, and have a negative approach towards things.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Afroz. And Bharat Dhruv has written fixed mindset is about not open to new ideas, no new try, no risk, no change. Thank you so much for sharing. And Rakhi says adaptability to new working culture is growth mindset. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. That's really nice. Yes, Anita?
Okay, so my fixed mindset includes perfectionism, poor self-esteem, lack of focus, procrastination, and looking to others for clues or what to do, what not to do.
Wonderful.
Whereas in my growth mindset, I thought of focus, perseverance, and commitment to fulfill. Then the 3 A's, which is acknowledge, accept, and appreciate. But I also want to include a 4th A in this, which is action.
Wow.
I'm working on actually.
Wow, that's really wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Anita. Can you please put down your 4 A's in the chat? Sure. So that everybody, lovely. Can you please repeat what you said?
Acknowledge, accept, appreciate,
And action.
And yes, the one that I want to add on my own, because the other three I have been hearing and I've been working on it.
Yeah.
But the fourth one is action, which I believe now is the time for me, and I am working on it at the moment.
Lovely, lovely.
I
Wonderful.
want to add two more to the growth mindset,
Mhm.
which are self-belief and confidence
Okay.
and abundance mentality.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing, Anita. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Kaushal. You have
Hi,
raised your hand. Hi.
good afternoon. Actually, just in very simple way, what I understand is that growth mindset is all about exploring all the possibilities
Hmm.
which are visible or invisible.
Hmm.
So just explore. And fixed
Hmm.
mindset, it is about like just going by tried and tested method. So not open to explore or not able to take risk or not
Hmm.
able just go out of some already preset norms.
Right.
So that is, in my opinion, is fixed mindset and uh, growth mindset.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate that. Anybody else? So the basic difference, or what I think is, or what I've understood, not I think, what I've understood about growth mindset and fixed mindset is that people who have a fixed mindset, um, they have a desire to look smart in front of other people. There's a lot of social and peer pressure that they feel, and hence they feel that, if they take up any challenge, or if there is a threat that they feel that will make them look bad in front of other people, they will avoid it. Or listening to feedbacks can be very difficult for them because they feel that it's not going to be something favorable to them. They believe that their intelligence is what is going to take them forward, and if somebody is not intelligent enough, then the person is going to be a failure, or they are going to be a failure. um, they they tend to give up easily if they don't get the results of their efforts. They often don't think it's the efforts that really matter. Vis-a-vis, a growth mindset is a mindset that is open to growth and learning. It's a mindset that says that through feedback I will be able to learn and grow, understand maybe what are my challenges, and then I can improve and I can go ahead. So they're willing to embrace challenges. They don't shy away from it. For them it's okay to kind of fall down and get up. One other basic difference that I have understood is that people with fixed mindset, they feel they don't align themselves with other people's success. Why not me? So I'm not saying that people who have growth mindset don't feel jealousy or envy, but they see people's they can be they tend to get inspired and motivated by other people's successes. That's how I see this entire melting pot of mindset to be, if we just look at it from the growth mindset and fixed mindset perspective. And I'm sure if you will simply do Google, and Vipul was quoting Carol Dweck, she's supposed to be the one who's coined the word, and rest of us are actually just kind of taking it forward. There are loads and loads of research that tells you how children who are growth mindset oriented respond. Not just children, even there are studies which have been done in adults to show that people with growth mindset are more positive. They have more gratitude in their life. They have an abundant mentality, as Anita was saying, right? Something very interesting that I saw in the research was that the children that who were praised for their intelligence, okay, they were more likely to choose future tasks which would make them look good, not tasks that came up to their intellectual levels. Another interesting thing that I read in about through some research was that 80% of the children who were praised, and this is all Carol Dweck's work, um, were praised for their intelligence, turned around and asked how did their other peers do in the same assessment. Vis-a-vis, children who were actually praised for their efforts, only 23% of those children asked that question. Very interesting, isn't it? Great. So my question now comes is that we have about 25 minutes. So can you quickly take some 2-3 minutes and think about what does this entire mindset do for us? What are the benefits that we actually derive from growth mindset? Maybe on the palm that you have drawn, you can just write under the digits. Shalini, can we give about 2 minutes for this activity? Maybe three benefits that you can think of that if you imbibe growth mindset in your daily diet, how will that help your mental health to grow?
Okay.
All right, so let's give them 2 minutes. It's 3:35.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
Is these two mindsets are fixed or is it situational? Like sometimes we think like a growth mindset, and sometimes like I have a rigid mindset. I'm not able to think as growth mindset people.
Very good question, Shalini. Any psychology student or a psychology enthusiast will know that we have all the spectrums in us, right? All the traits. Depending on the experiences that we have had, we are going to respond to the situation. So yes, the answer is that there are times that in some places we can have a growth mindset, and in some places where we have maybe been tarnished a little too much, or we have had really bad experience, we may feel rigidity. And that's the difference I was talking about, that, how fast we move past that, or do we get stuck there, is going to define how well or happy our life will be. Isn't Anita, your hand is up. Is there a question?
Sorry about that.
No, not a problem. Yeah, Shalini, I hope you are tracking. It's 2 minutes are up. So
No, ma'am, it's 1:20, 1 minute 30 seconds.
Okay, 30 more seconds. All right.
Yeah.
Done.
Good. So I want to know three benefits that you think of growth mindset. Let me know, Shalini.
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Done?
Yeah.
All right. Who wants to go? Let's have at least 2 answers. I see a chat. Okay. Rakhi says positive learning. Growth mindset gives positive learning and a space for introspection. Yes. Thank you for sharing. And self-satisfaction. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Rakhi. Anybody else?
It lowers your risk for depression. It helps in depression. It helps in improving your self-insight, your introspection. You enjoy life even when things are not good. Like today's scenario, I think if you have a growth mindset, you are going to do a lot better in comparison where people are having fixed mindset.
Yes.
And certainly it's going to strengthen your confidence. And you never stress about being perfect. Everything is fine. In whatever position you are just going to be doing okay. It improves and it enhances your relationship like anything, and it really flourishes. So, and there are, and you take criticism always in a positive way, because it's certainly reflecting how you can, because you're already good at some of the things, and if the person is criticizing you, you're going to take it that how is still there are a scope to do it in a better way. So you take it in a positive manner, and better at taking responsibility of your life. I
Okay.
think let other people speak.
Thank you so much, Jyoti. Thank you for sharing. I'm just going to quickly read out. Anita says, Bharat says, fear of failure. No fear of failure, action oriented, fa- fail, fast forward. I don't understand, but I guess. So, Anita says, self and other aware. Yes, happier, mindful, satisfied with self. Kaushal says, happy, creating opportunities, feel good, and help exploring different situations. Vipul says, I feel I have control. I look forward to better future. I feel optimistic and positive about myself. Oh my God, I think I can go home now. Thank you so much for sharing. And because you just stole my thunder of what I was going to tell you all. So people who have higher growth mindset in a nutshell are higher motivated, of course, because they have better self-confidence, better self-esteem, they're hopeful, they're better at problem solving. Now, you must know that as professionals, problem solving decision making remains on the top of a professional leadership skill. Extremely important as that is. Um, then it also helps us to have higher achievements. And I'm going to show you how that happens. And of course, better life satisfaction. And if you put everything that you have said, will fall right under all of this. So growth mindset is certainly something that we can have for to look forward to for the future. And yes, there are ways and means of developing this dish. I see 3 more chats. Let me just quickly take a look at it. Thank you, Bharat. Thank you, Vijay. Oh, you meant growth mindset. Okay, thank you, Bharat. Failure is one step near success. Yes, Bharat, thank you. That's the attitude we are talking about. So what do you think are the ingredients to growth mindset? Are there ingredients? Is it that some of us are just born with it, or that, we develop it? First, tell me, do you think, are we born with it, or we can develop it?
I think, ma'am, it's a mixture of both.
No wonder, Shalini, you were asking me that question, whether can we be growth mindset and fixed mindset at the same time? Okay, thank you for sharing. Okay, so you say it's a mixture of both. Rakhi says we develop it. Kaushal says we can develop it. Yes, Shalini, growth mindset can be developed. It is a developmental thing. It's how we are treated as children. It starts there. If our parents allow us to problem solve, if they allow us to do things the natural way without telling us a certain kind of words that we hear, children tend to have growth mindset, and that's what starts reflecting even in adults. And even as an adult, you can start today by being, I'll show you a couple of things that will help you help that. Heredity, Vipul says heredity and environmental. Okay, great. Thank you for sharing all of this. So there are certain ingredients that are true to the growth mindset. And one is positive realism versus negative realism. What is, and I'm going to just explain this because we have limited duration of time, and I certainly don't want to hold you. Positive realism is understanding that we can get out of a bad situation. Okay, it's as simple as that. And looking at a situation and saying, this is the realistic assessment. Let's take COVID, for example. Just looking at the news and saying, हाय अब क्या होने वाला है, और कोविड तो विंडो से फ्लाई करके सीधे मेरे बदन में आने वाला और हम मर जाने वाले. There is one statement of that. And then there is a positive realism where we say, oh, you know what? There is a danger outside and I just cannot go out carefree as I used to be. However, if I follow the COVID protocols, I can remain safe. A realistic assessment of the situation versus negative. कि अब तो सब मतलब बस कल्याणी हो गया है. You know, that. Now this is one of my favorites. Approach goals versus avoidance goals. How many of you have said, I don't want to be misunderstood? vis-a-vis, I want to be an effective communicator. Avoidance goal says, I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be unhealthy. I don't want to fall ill. Vis-a-vis, approach goal saying, I want to be healthy. I want to maintain a good body weight. Right? Extremely important when it comes to success. I cannot emphasize. When I do goal setting work with people, it's heart-rending to see the statements that get written. Approach goals versus avoidance goals. Ma'am, I'm a procrastinator. I'm lazy. Okay. Vis-a-vis, I need to work on my time management. And that brings me to the aspect of thought power. What are we going to think? What are we thinking? How are we using words and saying things like, feeling things like, or thinking things like that this is a threat, vis-a-vis this is a challenge. Those of us who have been able to maintain our sanity in the turbulent times that we are in, are able to see this situation as a challenge, and this too shall pass, and let's do something about it, and thinking in that positive realism manner vis-a-vis people who see this as a threat. Efforts versus talent. Now, this is something that when we believe that, intelligence is all that we have, and we play the role of talent. Um, we lower the value of efforts vis-a-vis talent. So if we say that, that person, and that's the reason I started with Muhammad Ali's story. He was not the most talented. And honestly, if you will go and check, for most of the Olympians and the gold medalists, they're not the best in their field, but they are the best in their mind. They believe that their efforts will grow their talent. To answer, Shalini, one of your questions that you had asked, I have all my life believed that I'm very bad in maths. Okay. And today, despite working with growth mindset, it's so deep rooted in me that I have to make that I can't do 2 + 2 at times. When I go to buy vegetables, I can't quickly calculate कि ये आधा किलो और पाव किलो क्या होता है. And then it tells me, oh Nidhi, you are not good in maths. And I have to quickly switch to say, I have challenge with maths. And for me, that is a good enough space. Efforts. Can I make an effort? So I keep making little efforts. So I'm trying to learn to learn tables like children. And that's okay, because that's the only way you can learn maths. Right? And people who believe feedback is a criticism. Feedback is not a criticism. Feedback is a space to learn and grow. Can I do better from this? That's the only way that I can grow. Whereas people who start to look at it as a criticism, they just shut down, because then we feel small. Then we feel not so good about ourselves, right? Because ultimately, it's all a matter of attitude and perspective. I want to show that picture one more time. Believe me, whether it is 6 or 9, it's your attitude. I will choose to see it as 9 from wherever I'm standing, because it's going to work better for me. 9 is a higher number, right? So it's a matter of perspective. Growth mindset is a matter of perspective. Any questions? I saw a chat. 1 second. Effort ushers in talent. Okay. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you for sharing. So I said that I will show you how growth mindset comes to a higher achievement. So if you can see, if I believe that I can be smarter or I can become better, because anyway, science tells us brain cells are neuroplastic and plasticity helps them to grow, etc., etc., etc. So I can increase my intelligence. Just because IQ is calculated in a certain manner doesn't mean that it will not grow. I can imbibe differently, right? So if I believe that, then learning becomes my goal, effort makes me stronger, and then I work harder, I put in more time, I learn more. When we do that, higher achievement is an automatic result of that, isn't it? There's no way that you're not going to get the result. You may not get it the way you want it, right? I may want X, but I may get Y. That's fine. But we will definitely get 0 to nahi hoga. 0.5 ho jayega. 1 ho jayega. 10 bhale na ho. So higher achievement for sure. So that brings us to, what are the strategies do you think that we can employ to have a growth mindset? And at this point, can I take, I have 10 minutes. So Shalini, will you please give me a 2 minutes timer so people can think about, I'm going to end the session on this note with the strategies that you think can work for you. 2 strategies that you think you can take on that can work for you. Action, remember? The 4 A's, action. Shalini, are you giving me the timer, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So 2 minute timer, please.
Yeah. And ma'am, we have only 10 minutes for question and answer session.
Yeah. I'm in. Sorry, I got carried away.
Okay, ma'am. Done.
All right, guys. So what are the strategies that you have? No one? Manisha? Go ahead.
Okay. For me, it's self-acceptance and reflection.
Okay. And how will you do that, Shalini?
A reflective thought through, like, sit for a while and think what I have done throughout the day and what are the negative things and the positive things, and move forward with the positive things.
Thank you. So I can add to that, Shalini?
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
So one of the good ways to do this is that at the end of the day, once everything is done towards the night, think about things that made you feel good and think about things that you could have done better. So that can help you with that. And you can make a note of it. Thank you so much. Anybody else?
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, Rakhi here.
Yeah, Rakhi?
Ma'am, one thing I have noticed in myself, that I always look for perfection, whether it is workplace or whether it is home. So sometimes, it brings disappointment, because we should not look for perfection in everything that we do. Because no one is perfect. If I look into myself, I'm also not perfect. So I should try to look for something which is close to perfection, but not perfect all the time.
Okay.
Because finally it brings disappointment for me.
Right.
Sometimes it brings bitterness in relations also. Right. So that is what I have. This is something out of my introspection.
Sure.
Perfection will not be seen everywhere in everything.
Right.
So this is what I have to overcome.
Thank you so much for sharing, Rakhi. And if I may add, one of the things that you can do there is that you can ask yourself, is this my best? And if the answer is yes, then you have achieved whatever you needed to do. Beyond that, it's not possible. It's a very good way to measure whether you have done what you needed to do. Have you applied all your talents? Bharat says, select area of our interest, learn from true stories of people who have achieved goals in the selected field. Okay, thank you so much. Meet those people, interact, upskill. Okay, be innovative and a game changer. Okay, thank you so much, Bharat. I'll take one more answer. If there is somebody who wants to say, please go ahead. All right, if there is none, then I will just go ahead and I will show you a couple of my suggestions are that to develop a growth mindset, one thing that you should do is read new topics. We read topics, listen to different people debating with an open mind and without saying what is right and wrong, and learn to use the words carefully. Very important. Things like I will try. Try gives the mind a suggestion that it's 50-50, so it's okay to fail. So I will do my best. Try out, try out new dishes, new sports, new reading material, new people. We typically tend to make friends with typical kind of people. So expand your horizons without saying that, I would not like it. I was recently listening to a 6-year-old girl saying, oh, I don't like this dish. And I asked her, I said, how many times have you eaten that before? The child has already learned to say no without trying, right? So that kind of a mindset. This is my example. I'm not a maths person yet. I need to keep working at it. How will you talk? Very important to develop growth mindset is how do I talk? So I'm right. A fixed mindset will say that when I struggle with something, it means that, it's a struggle. So there is a very famous video of Amitabh Bachchan where he says कि मैंने बाबूजी से कहा कि बाबूजी जिंदगी तो जिंदगी तो संघर्ष है और बाबूजी ने कहा कि हाँ जिंदगी है तो संघर्ष है. Now when I listen to that, my mind says no, zindagi is not a sangharsh. I make it a sangharsh. So you can always take a look at it that if I'm struggling with something, maybe I'm learning through that. Yeah. So that brings us to the close of the session. Thank you so much. I'm just going to look at what somebody has. Kind of self-talk matters. Yes, Anita, self-talk matters a lot. So thank you so much. If you have any questions and if you have any opinions, we are almost at the end. Shalini, I'm sure she will be kind enough to give us 2-3 extra minutes in her agenda.
Yes, hi, ma'am.
Yes, please. Who's that?
Hi, ma'am. Vipul here.
Yes, Vipul.
So, ma'am, we can take the questions once we stop the recording. So for official purpose, we just have to stop the recording.